Game 6. Going against youth here. My Warwick one-trick climb here. Last game, I promoted to bronze one. This will be my first game since promoting to bronze one. I haven't posted anything recently because I've been busy with work and kids and everything. End up getting the win on this. Puts me around 1 or 2 wins out of silver on this account.
30 seconds in convenience spawn.
Made some huge boo-boos in this particular game here, and I'll be pointing them out as we go along. This will be a perfect game to highlight why I've said in the last 5 videos that if you focus on farm, you know you're going to end up getting ahead for that golden item advantage. You don't ever chase kills, especially as a jungler. It's very paramount as a jungler. Lane, I mean, you can get behind a little and come back late. But if you get behind the jungle on early farm and don't get that item advantage, it really sets you back on objectives and making those team plays late that affect the overall outcome. Knew the huge deer was starting. My Leona went up there and warded, or attempted to ward, and I discovered that huge deer was starting red side. So I skipped one camp in the hope to invade. And I make a huge mistake here that if I was in a higher elo would have cost me the match. It was a perfect time right here. Here we go. I see that Jinx is slow in true Warriors fashion. I'm chasing that blood trail. I've said in the last 4 or 5 videos that I posted that if you stick to the fundamentals, and especially as a jungler, you focus on farm over anything else. And as you can see, I wasted a good 10 seconds to 15 seconds chasing a Jinx, and I didn't make any time because of the back. So I got 0 gold for that effort. And meanwhile, User has cleared 2 camps while I was off screwing around with that team. That puts me behind. If this was a higher elo match, I would have absolutely been punished for that. Luckily, we're in bronze, and this is, I think, a silver-ish User. It might have been on silver too. He did not capitalize on my blunder. Works out well for me. But that was a huge mistake. That put me way behind in gold and items. I could have been much further along. So now, as you can see, I'm 2 camps at least behind. Ugear by 340 should have already been out here taking this, so I don't know why he was behind. Like I said, if this was higher elo match, I would have been greatly punished for that. See my Leona coming up to try to scuttle with me. I move to try to get him. I get stunned, unable to land the E. See Nunu coming down. I'm about to get smoked. Flash over the wall. Go ahead and bail. This is another good example of lower elo plays that don't make any sense. I didn't realize I was sitting on a board here. I figured out when I was trying to take a pop shot. I realized that I'm warded, so I get out of there. Now at this point, I'm just hoping to delay enough time to either kill Ugear, waiting for my E to come back. And he hits me with the throw. Still managed to get the kill. Now I see Nunu coming. This is a prime example of what I was talking about. I'm going to pause it here and explain. At this point, now you have a Nunu and a Jinx chasing me off of lane farm. They should be down here farming their waves, as you can see. And they chose to chase me instead. They're chasing. At this point would be a full wave and maybe a second wave because it's coming out by the time they screw around with me. They're going to miss a second wave. is a huge mistake all around. I can get a little health back on the minion through the Q through. I was hoping to get feared over by Jinx and get her. If I had one more Q, I would have killed her also. But I get smoked. So at least Jinx gets the kill. Nunu is way behind now because of the decision he made. And quite frankly, so was Jinx. But she lost a ton of XP for that. So this is just a small examples of how what I've been saying in the last 5 videos holds true. That if you just stick to the farm, basic fundamentals of farming, weight lane, in lane, as a jungler, taking farm over the gank, unless it's a 80% chance or higher. They call it the 80% rule of it being a guaranteed gank, or that person has a bounty, which makes it more worth it. 1 kill is worth less than 2 to 3 camp. So it's always better to take the farm over a gank that you're not going to get. I was playing with my brain turned off over here. Again, like I said, if we'll take this as an example here, I took the kill, but in the process, they pulled a feed to get 1 plate on mid because I'm off on bot lane with the kill. There's a dragon up, and now there's 3 camps up. So not only was I 2 camps behind earlier that I missed, now I'm essentially 5 camps behind because I could have been taking these kills, or taking these camps instead of the kills. So that's about the 3rd or 4th big boo-boo I've made over what I've said in the last couple of videos. Still end up falling together because it's bronze. The Junior and Nunu made some pretty big blunders also. They had a chance to get way ahead early and they busted down the toilet. And it was right about here to end the match. I made this mistake, hoping that my Leona would land a Q. I didn't ping it out, so it was on me. They didn't know I was coming. Higher elo, she would have seen me on the mini map, but I should have pinged it out. When you're low elo, if you want something accomplished, you need to ping the hell out of it. So again, now I've chased the kill for the bot lane that I didn't get the second time versus farming. I'm so far behind in farm versus where I could have been. At this point, Udyr is ahead of me by 7 CS, and he should have been much further ahead. But he also made it, which is good for me. Beat up this one. Well, I see that the rub dropped, so I go ahead and make a play on that. I see Udyr bot lane messing around. So I go ahead and take the farm versus trying to chase the kills. Alvahar rotates. I know I'm going to make 6 off these 3 grubs, probably ahead of him levels by that point. As you see, he's still 5. Malzahar gets the kill. Big for us. Always good to have Malzahar ahead.
One.
Check the rewards. deer off in the way. Knew it was pushing heavy. I already jumped him once. I know I can get the kill, especially with that fortune telling. He doesn't make it. I know if future comes, he also does that. And he does. And he's smoking him, I get a double kill out of it, and then I make a push for drag. I don't know what I'm doing there, wandering. Debating on whether I was going to take the chameleon or not. Them and broiled. This is yet another mistake I made. I see the kill. I thought that my misfortune might be in danger because Camille could have still had her all up, and I didn't even respond to it. So instead, I gave up yet another attempt to try and chase a kill that I didn't get. So no gold on both sides. Wasted another 10 seconds. Could have had drag off by that point. I wasn't going to take raptors. I see these two pushed in. I'm going with them by lane. I'm getting line turned off, making poor low elo decisions here. Following the team to the farming. This is just yet another example when I could have cleared my entire bot side, top side farm, and taken drag. Instead, I took 2 kills and didn't even really get anything out of it. It was way behind the gold item.
Oh,
And take that hidden home, smoking everybody behind. I dived the U deer. Thought I had enough juice to not get killed, and I was everybody left me. But I get the dog. Again, I'm still behind him and CS. Look at all this farm that's up. That's free gold, man. Guaranteed gold. Versus sitting in a respawn time. Well, I can't stress those basic fundamentals enough that I've preached in the last 5 videos I posted. Little stuff adds up to big stuff. And once you get a gold level item, it hangs over your counterpart. It's basically guaranteed to get all the games about. Around here, here's another mistake I made. I'm trying to launch my R over the wall to kill the Jinx. I need to be there. And just my luck, the Camille comes down and walks right in front of my ult as I'm all the way to over the wall. I wasn't able to kill the Jinx, unfortunately. And instead of leaving right there, I stayed to chase him down the Milo, which was foolish, even with more daring foolish, because I can see Nunu there. I try to go back in, hoping to get a Q off and heal on the Nunu, but more often into the underworld, and I can't get the Q, so I die from leaving. But not only did I not get the 2 kills, I ran up there for I ended up getting smoked because my horde committed, over committed. He gets killed, and he was shut down at that point. So we gave Jinx here in a second shutdown gold. One chance you don't want to go to. Versus say I could have farmed all of this, clear vision and press drag. So many other things I could have been doing. It's an absolute waste of time. Again, bypassing all that farm to go snatch a user kill. Honestly, at this point, I was just killing them because I knew it. A little demoralizing for their team. They were all kind of talking trash and chat at that point, so they were starting to mental boom at each other. So I took advantage of it. Their entire team responded to me in the rip top. At this point, I have every objective in the game. Pinging my team to back off. They're going to fight, trying to take tier 1 turrets. I kept telling them in chat to back off. Didn't need to take those this early as pre 25 minutes. For those that don't understand what that means, prior it used to be 20 minutes at Baron spawn. Before 20 minutes, you don't want to be taking a inhib unless you know you can end it. Because what that does if a team is behind is it allows them to free farm from their base, giving them free gold and an ability to catch up. I have played many a match with any heroes that have allowed that to happen, and then they end up losing because they allowed their counterparts to get caught up in the favorite thing. You really don't want to do that. So instead, they end up wiping. I go back down and take the drag after they spawn. And this is the last big mistake I made. It's now 22 minutes. We have all but Milo down. We could have ended the game at this point. But instead, I took it off to go take farm. Because at one time, we should have seen. And I don't. Here and start farming. We should have continued to siege because we largely could have ended the game. They're all dead in 20-second timer. We already got 2 ended. We could have ended. But I took farm, not paying attention to the win con there. I was taking this farm. And then I finally realized what was happening and realized we could have ended. So I decided, screw it. If we're going to take inhibs, I might have to go ahead and get rid of all the tier 1 turrets, put some team gold, and we'll win after we get buried. I feel that all the community win. Like a huge mistake right here. popped my W trying to go in on the Milo. Wasn't paying attention to the fact that I was under 2 turrets and he still has Q up. And I ended up giving myself killed for no reason. Thought I could alt into him and get the health regen. What I should have done if I wanted to make that play was alt to him initially and try to use my E and ride out his damage. I probably could have killed him, but I absolutely would have died in the process either way without the team. Either way, this is a bonehead play, yet another mistake made where I should have instead went and farmed all of this or back and spent my gold for the item advantage. Gotten ready for the next objective, which happens to be Baron at 25 minutes. Huge mistakes by me. All those little things that I did early leading up to this moment right here, I just farmed and taken the item advantage on that last push, we would have ended before 20 minutes or before 25 minutes. That one siege that I just said we should have done had I had the appropriate farm and items and not chasing those early kills, we would have absolutely ended right there. We could have ended right there even without those mistakes, or even with those mistakes, but most certainly would have ended without them. Again, just a highlight of focusing fundamentals over KDA. KDA is only one small part of the game. Really good macro decisions, excellent farming, and CS. Quite frankly, outweigh good KDA anytime. In fact, the easiest and best way to change back and being behind in a lane or in the jungle is to focus on farming and objective farming. That's how you play it. Really, really play it. Now we have Baron, they don't stand a chance. All we gotta do is finish those games. Taking the crap out of my team and all chat at this point. He just Malzahar porting in. I was gonna go around and put some bot side, but since he came in, I figured I would link top, clear that way, push in super dudes, and this is what we ended up with. We ended up ending the game at about 27 minutes. Most definitely could have been over around the maybe even if I had been around six skills over. All told me to Milo, because I hate Milo. There it is. GG. A very sloppy win. Haven't already done so. You want to see more content, like, subscribe. I'm gonna push this account as far as it'll go. Try to go all the way to master and one trick and glory because we get easy chance to play. I like them. It's great for beginners. And then if I can tank one of my other alt accounts to iron, I'm going to show you how to go from iron to bronze and do it pretty easy. So stick around for further content.